Today on Beardo and Weirdo, it's all Gene Simmons all the time. He takes over the show. We don't even really talk at all. He insults me, he insults Chris, and he tells us about a cool event that's happening in Vegas in September.
And on today's Beardo and Weirdo, Gene Simmons gives me financial advice so that one day I too can own a Gene Simmons Axe Bass.
From Kiss. You know us, you love us. And we love you. Craig Gass, comedian here. Chris Kael, Five Finger Death Punch. You want some more information? You can actually hang out with Chris while he's on tour with Five Finger Death Punch. All the info is at chriskael.com. And then you can see me doing stand-up, and you can see both of us doing stand-up. All those dates are at getgas.com. Getgas with 2 S's.com. This is a man, I have to tell you, that I love so much.
Gay stuff right off the top.
That I have the decency to leave him alone when I'm in the same room as him, and I don't bother him unless he waves me over.
Yeah,
I know how.
Can I just start? We haven't been introduced. Your lovely partner. By the way, how long have you guys been a couple?
About a year. We've been life partners.
Forever life partners now. Yes.
And would you like to introduce yourself? Because I know the other guy, but I don't know you. Do I?
I am Chris Kael. I play bass for Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh, I love that band.
Thank you.
I thought I was going to compliment you on your TV show, which I've been a fan of forever.
which one is that one? There's several.
No, Duck Dynasty.
You know, this is wonderful that he's roasting me about Duck Dynasty, because Duck Dynasty is why I started growing dreadlocks in my beard.
Yeah.
I was with Zoltan, our guitarist, at the airport.
Is Zoltan Hungarian?
Yes, he is. Yes.
I speak fluent Hungarian.
Oh, yes. I think I remember when we played with you guys over in Germany, you and Zoltan spoke for quite a bit in Hungarian.
And I also speak German and Hebrew and a little Japanese and English.
Man, where do you find the time, being Gene Simmons from Kiss, to learn all those languages?
All these places have girls.
That's the key I've been missing.
That is the first question I would have loved to have asked, is after the life that you've had before you got married, has your
life you've had, because I'm dead now.
Well, I'm saying as a single man, the life you had as a single man. Did your penis did your penis ever yell at you and say, "What are you doing to me?"
It talks to me all the time.
Yeah. Tells you to do things you shouldn't be doing.
Feed me.
Feed them.
That's a famous line from a movie. Do you know which movie?
I don't know. Is it a 70s movie?
I want to do a little sidebar.
Sure.
I'm going to be 77 soon. This is what happens. You try to drink water and not screw the thing. It's Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. I just remember the songs.
The big plant, you know what I wanted to eat.
Yeah.
Feed me.
The Venus flytrap.
The penis flytrap.
Oh, set you up. Perfect. Knocked it out of the park.
Well, these are semantics, but I'm not anti-semantic.
Well, Gene is here right off the top.
By the way, I have a question for both of you.
Sure.
What does a man with a 12-inch penis have for breakfast?
Bacon and eggs.
What does a man with a 12-inch penis have?
Bacon and eggs this morning.
Well, this one very good. Well, this morning I had Cheerios and some coffee.
It's the bass player thing. Both of us, we get it.
Well, you know why all the chicks love Jesus?
Why is that?
Well, he's hung like this.
Yep, I knew that one was coming.
One of my favorite moments in life was the first ever Kiss cruise.
When I blew Gene.
Yes, the first ever Kiss cruise. Gene in full costume. I'm standing in the hallway. They're getting ready to go on stage, perform in the theater. And Gene looks at me, starts walking in my direction and says,
"Fuck off."
What did Kermit the Frog's finger smell like? And I said, I don't know. What?
No. That's not the fuck up. You're a comedian. You're supposed to know. What's green and smells like Miss Piggy? And then you hit him with Kermit the Frog.
That's right. You're right. I did get that wrong. You're right.
So,
I was
why don't you just stick to Al Pacino?
Yeah.
and impersonations of you, Gene.
Yeah.
Eugene, yeah.
The street hustler comes up to me one day. He looks me up. He looks me down.
And he says, "Hey man, what be
You want to
this?"
fuck?
Yeah. Gene.
The way you talk is called a pregnant pause.
Yes.
And it's a perfect opportunity. It's kind of like Abbott and Costello. You know what? What? I was walking down the street and I was thinking of some guy's hairy ass. No, that's not what I want. You have this pause so anybody can say anything.
Of course.
While you're thinking of your next thing. Yeah.
Well, Gene is going to be here in Vegas. He's going to be here at the Westgate Hotel, September 25th to the 27th. He's doing, and what is the Gene Simmons Legends of Rock Expo? What is that?
Well, we've all grown up, and there are a lot of these kinds of places, but you get treated like crap, conventions, rock concerts, meet and greets and stuff. But this is a way, it's very loose, but the biggest stars are going to be there. Stuart Copeland from The Police, Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath. I mean, real high-end guys who really haven't had the chance in their life to spend time with fans. So they're going to join us there. Let me see. We got Dave Davies from the Kinks, and real high-end guys. You just don't do this because nobody asked them. I said, sure, we'd love to do that. So we're talking to people that would make your jaw drop. So it'll be a place for collectors, fans. You'll do the usual photos. You want a photo with your favorite guy? Boom, there's the place. But you can team up. You can, they'll do a threesome.
The Eiffel Tower.
And there'll be, what's the Eiffel Tower, pray tell?
That's when the girl's in the middle, the dudes are on the outside, and they hold hands together at the top. It's an Eiffel Tower.
Why do they hold hands?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Making the Eiffel Tower.
I haven't done that one, so I'm not quite sure. Yeah. I don't know that I would be touching anything on that other side of the the tower.
Would Craig be involved?
Yeah.
He'd be the one in the middle.
I'm the one doing the Gene Simmons impression on one end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also at my age, you forget what the fuck we're talking about. Oh yeah, that's right. So there'll also be jam sessions. Almost anybody can come up and, as a matter of fact, there's a little story while I was doing Rock School, which was a TV show for England. Mm-hmm. It was seen around the world for ITV, the English channel. I was filming outside and teaching kids who didn't have a purpose in life. Hey, let's put a band together. You don't have to learn to play an instrument. I'll show you how to play a single note. And, you don't have to play drums. You can just do quarter notes and, get by. You can do something Baby Love is quarter notes. Baby Love, my baby. Oh, that's right. I used to see the chick that sang that.
Did you really?
Sure. We used to live together.
Whoa.
Where are you? Didn't you read Hit Parader?
Yeah, of course. Hit Parader, Circus,
yeah.
Cream, Metal Edge, Rip, of course.
I think it was on that show that you actually said something, and correct me if I'm getting the quotation wrong, but these kids were like, yeah, I want to be in a band, but I don't know how to play an instrument. And Gene leans in and goes, that doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Ask any rapper.
I had heard somebody who went to a rock and roll fantasy camp that claimed that you came in as a camp counselor and said, you can steal any song.
Nope, you got to do the voice.
Listen, here's a Kiss song. It was originally this song, and I stole it and I made it this. So my gift to you, take one of my songs and turn it into something else. Steal whatever you want. Good night. Is that true?
Well, generally, yes, because if you don't understand copyright law, 7 bars of something is not still until the 8th, but you can get sued. Here come old Flat Top. Lennon was sued by the Chuck Berry estate, and he had to pay up, even though it wasn't about bars. It was an outright lift. By the way, I did the eulogy at Chuck Berry's funeral, sadly.
Really?
And nobody else showed up. It was very strange. I was there to honor Chuck, but the family asked me to step up and say a few words. You can see it on YouTube. At any rate, songwriting, there's no one that'll tell you what the rules are. Anybody can write any song. I don't know that anybody can write a good song, and that includes me. I mean, McCartney, possibly the most successful songwriter of all time. Well, some of the more recent albums may not, go up to Maybe I'm Amazed and some other stuff, but anybody can write songs. Why don't we do it in the road?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's the whole song.
Yeah.
Just keep repeating it. Just keep repeating it. You don't like to sing? Wild thing.
Right.
You make my heart sing. You make everything. How about this? Wild thing.
There's that pregnant pause. That pregnant pause.
Wild thing, I think you move me.
By the way, the story behind that, John Voight, who's a friend, has a brother. And that brother wrote Wild Thing. He could barely play guitar. He knew 3 chords.
Really?
The 1, 4, 5. Bound, bound, there's the 4. Bound, 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 there's the 5. So if you're in G, it goes G, C, D, and so on. So you can transpose. A big word like gymnasium. And so they're doing the demo, and they don't have a guitar player who can play a solo, because there's a solo section using the same chords. So they had a guy next door who played flute. So the Wild Thing, you make my heart. That's the solo in the song.
Yeah.
So they didn't have a chance. Al Gargoni, who I knew when he was a musician, studio musician, played on everything, but didn't play lead guitar. So I don't know. It's also wound up on flutes. All of a sudden became popular on, oh my God, Mamas and the Papas and everything. So the song was sent out as a demo to the publishers in Europe. The Trogs, who were nobody at the time, picked up the song, and it was #1 around the world.
Mm-hmm.
So the publisher told him, why don't you write another song and use the same chords? You ready?
Okay.
G, G. Just call me Angel.
Oh, yeah.
Angel. Then he goes to the harmony. Just take that deep before you leave me, baby. It's the same chords. 1, 4, 5. It just depends. Think of chords as a train or a boat leaving the station. You can put whatever you want in it. Hey, wait a minute. You're going exactly the same route that I went before. Yeah, but you can't own that. You can also have Fire as a song title. Bum, 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 bum. Well, you can also be Crazy World of Arthur Brown and have Fire, or the Pointer Sisters, Fire. Mm-hmm. Or that was the Ohio. By the way, that was the Ohio Players instead of the one. So you can do all kinds of things. And Paul, as a matter of fact, admitted that the Four Tops, Standing in the Shadow of Love,
Mm-hmm.
one of the minor hits. I was made for. Wow. You notice?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You leave the melody before it transgresses.
Are there any Kiss songs that you've put out that you think it's very obvious what the origin is and people just don't seem to pick up on it?
Oh, a lot of them.
Yeah.
If you're doing riffs, okay, I'll give you a Metallica one.
Okay.
Because Metallica has become very popular.
Of course.
And they weren't always, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when, I don't know, they were opening for Def Leppard or somebody. By the way, everybody opened for everybody.
Sure.
So there's a Sabbath song. Maybe you can tell me what it's called. Bow, E, octave E, and then B flat.
Yep. Black Sabbath.
Bow, bow, bow.
Yeah.
No, that's Sabbath.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you say Led Zeppelin?
No, I said Black Sabbath, the song Black Sabbath.
Right. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, da, ba, da, bow, bow, da, da, da.
Oh,
they're exactly the same notes.
Wow, I never even noticed that.
Not even, and by the way, I think it's not in the same key because they really detune.
How often have you found yourself feeling like somebody stepped on you a little too much in their career?
Stepped on me?
Stepped on your music and took a bit off a little too much off of your original compositions.
Well, it's not an issue. There's a Springsteen song called, here, I'll pull it up. Actually, I can't because my phone is up here. See how stupid? There's a Springsteen song called something Snake-Eyed Pete. Come on, one of you guys have it.
I don't know.
Something Springsteen song Snake-Eyed Pete or something. Outlaw Pete. That's it. Outlaw Pete.
Okay.
Can you bring it up?
I'm gonna bring it up here. Outlaw Pete. Okay, I'm bringing this.
Have you got it?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. This looks like it might be a live. And then there's a commercial, of course, 5 seconds of a.
Come on, you're making all this podcast money and you're not paying for premium Spotify yet, Craig?
Okay, wait. So go about 45 seconds ahead.
Okay.
And you're distorting, so you got to turn the volume down. Go back about 10 seconds.
10 seconds, okay.
That's note for note. I was made for loving you.
Oh my!
Oh, get out of here! Wow.
He was on little zombie,
Yeah.
I was made for loving you, baby.
Am I correct that that's the most streamed Kiss song?
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, that's amazing.
But by the way, later Bruce goes do 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 do.
No, get out.
Oh yeah,
here. Really? In that song?
Yeah.
He does.
We didn't sue. We could have won. Blondie, call me.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the verse. That's the verse.
One of my favorite songs, comparatively like that, where the riff is the exact same, is Cinderella, Nobody's Fool.
Oh, Def Leppard.
And Def Leppard, Bringing on the Heartbreak. It's the exact.
It is. And I'm the guy that discovered Cinderella.
Are you really?
Oh, thank you for that.
Look up in that Google and Schmoogle. Did Gene Simmons discover Van Halen and Cinderella?
Very
Put
nice.
that up there.
You know, Gene, I lived at Eddie Van Halen's house for a period of time in 2004. He let me stay in his recording studio.
Why?
And I just gotten out of a bad relationship, and Eddie let me.
What was his name?
There it is. Yeah.
And Alex would come over, and
fuck me.
And one of Alex's favorite stories, and I wonder if you remember this, he said, you know, Gene showed up early on in our career, and the first time he came backstage into our dressing room, he had these, he described it as thigh-high boots. And Gene comes in, and your side of the conversation is, I want to help you guys. I think you're great. I want to blah, blah. And Alex had one question for you. Do you remember what it was?
Are you Jewish?
He said, how do you shit in those boots? He would tell me that story over and over again. How do you shit in those boots? That was his one question that he asked you. And he told me that story several times.
Standing up the way I pee.
Yep. I feel
that story, here's what happened. So in those early days, in the 70s, actually later on, but in a short time, we sort of became a big deal. Within a year and a half of forming, before MTV, before single, we didn't have singles or anything. We wound up headlining Anaheim Stadium with all kinds of bands opening for us. So, you know, all of a sudden you're a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next two records or whatever were platinum and multi-platinum before everybody started selling platinum. So I used to go out at night. Chicks.
Feed me.
And so I went to a place called the Starwood because people told me, you should go see these new bands. There's a band called The Boys, Boyzz, Boys.
Okay.
It had, oh God damn! I just had a brain fart. The good guitar player from Dokken, George Lynch. You should check this guy out. He's really good, and the band's pretty good. The Boys. And opening for them was a new band that had just changed their name to Van Halen from Mammoth.
That's right.
And B.B. Buell was my date that night. So that's before she gave Tyler a child, but I think actually before Elvis Costello and before Todd Rundgren, because she was popular.
Right.
But, a great companion, a lot of fun and all that. And we're upstairs in the who the fuck do you think you are place, where people are looking up. Look, there's Chubby Checker. And so, as a matter of fact, Rodney Bingenheimer, if you don't know who he is, like the Prince of Sunset Strip or whatever, is bringing people over. This guy likes the Ramones. That guy liked, this and that. Oh, hello, nice to see you. And as soon as I hear, hey, man, I know it's going to be one of those, hey, man, my uncle knows your dog walker who knew your dry cleaner guy at 3:00 in the morning. But you remember him? No. And so baby's sitting there and stuff, and all of a sudden I hear this noise. It sounds like 2 or 3 guitar players playing, and it just sounded like no solo I ever heard. So I go to the front of the stage and I see this guy who looks like Jim Dandy Mangrum from Black Oak, Arkansas, no shirt on, doing amazing acrobatics. One great bass player. Nobody ever talks about
Michael,
no, ever. Hey, thanks for filling. See, the pregnant pause.
Yep.
And everybody's great drumming and stuff. And then Eddie takes a solo, and he's holding the neck, like typing on this thing. And I'd never heard tapping before. And by the third song, I'm backstage waiting for them to come off. And I forgot about BB, if you can imagine that. And they come backstage. Hey, Gene, wow, we do Firehouse and Detroit Rock City in our set. You can look it up on YouTube and Schmootube and all that. Anything where you press buttons and torture yourself, just look it up. And, oh, that's great. Okay, here's what I want to do. I'm going to sign you guys. I'm going to fly you to New York. I'm going to put you in Electric Lady Studios, and we're going to record a 24-track demo, 15 songs and all that stuff. And I said, do you have anybody attached? Well, we were going to meet with this guy who's a yogurt manufacturer, and he was going to become, he was going to loan us money. And I said, guys, you don't understand. This is called the music business, not music. It's never been called music. It's a business. You need to hang out with Jews more often. Okay? So this guy that's going to loan you money is going to take first position of gross pre-tax. So whatever deal you make with him, all before you spend money for roadies, amplifiers, hotels, and all that stuff, he's taken right off the top. Then you're going to have a manager. He's going to take right off the top, pre-tax, all that stuff. Everybody gets paid before you do. You pay roadies first, you pay rentals, hotels, everything. Everybody else gets paid first. If there's any money left, you're going to get $1. By the way, before you make the $1, the government's going to come in and take a big chunk of it.
Of course.
You're going to be blowing strangers on Santa Monica Boulevard the way a famous drummer did just to get by.
Oof.
You know who I mean.
Yes, I do.
And so I try, and they're like, the jaws are hanging. I said, tell you what I'm going to do. Everything's free. You're signed to my company, Man of 1,000 Faces. If I can't get you a deal, no harm, no foul. You own the tapes. You can go. Well, it's the best deal that sold. They signed. So I discovered Van Halen. Not, I was there. I knew the guy next door. Yeah.
Was there ever any artist that you thought, these guys are going to be massive, and they just got in their own way and they couldn't, and it's
Cheap Trick.
Cheap Trick.
I madly loved Cheap Trick, and I first saw them in Max's Kansas City, and there couldn't have been more than 200 people there, and I'm right in front because I heard a little bit of stuff, and the songs were undeniable.
Great vocals.
And the guitar playing and stage presence. I mean, Robin had the best voice up there, perfect pitch and all that. But the stage presence of Rick Nielsen is just, and like nobody you ever saw in a band, right? He looked like Hans Hall from the East Side Kids. You guys are too young to know what I'm talking about.
Don't know the East Side Kids.
Nope, I don't know that one.
Well, there's YouTube. You should look it up.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Leo Gorsey,
Okay.
Hunts Hall. What Rick Nielsen looked like is what Hunts Hall looked like, with the cap on the side and I don't know, all that stuff. New York Jewism, really.
Yeah.
East Side. At any rate, so because I'm a wise guy, I took out a $20 bill and I flung it on stage. By the way, the stage is very low, and they're sweating because there's no air conditioning and stuff, and they're playing. I remember Nielsen hit a big A chord and took his hand off the A, because you can let the A chord ring, because he let the A string ring, and scooped up the 20 and put it on his forehead, and it stuck there. I go, you guys are going to be going out on tour with us. We're about to start in 2 months, whatever. And we gave them their first tour. And they could have and should have been a huge band, except, respectfully, in my opinion, their manager lived in Madison, Wisconsin. And they never moved to the big cities. So they were always, there's such a thing as schmoozing.
Yes.
You got to be at the right place with the right thing at the right time.
Agreed.
Otherwise, the train leaves without you, which is why before you make it, so many people live in and around New York, LA, the places. If you want to be a country and Western singer, where are you going to go?
Nashville,
Except Nashville.
Of course.
Yeah, because that's where the action is. Do you have a better chance in being a country and Western singer if you lived in Guadalajara? No. My power is low, apparently.
Power on your phone? Do you have to charge it? You have to plug it in?
Yeah, but if I plug it in, I can't hear you. But anyway, a short interview is better than nothing. So they didn't make it, in the real way. And I still adore those guys. And the dressing room, I'd always play that. And in return, actually, first bands we took out on tour, and their very first tour, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Motley Crue, Bon Jovi, Rush, Cheap Trick, almost anybody, because we loved them. You want to take out bands that you like instead of management or politics in the background. So we always made sure that the bands we took out, we loved.
Well, speaking of bands that went out with Kiss.
I'm not done.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not done with my tirade, because I don't want to get too tirade.
Yeah.
You don't wind up on the tour when we have something to say about it unless we love your stuff. And Duck Dynasty over there has got a great band, and great songs, which is the core of it. I don't care if you do riff songs or something about it's got to stick. Because when you heard Zeppelin songs, the star of the songs were the riffs. That's what you remember. And basically Plant is up there riffing like a jazz musician. But what you remember are those riffs.
Of course.
Sunshine of Your Love and so on. And okay, now your turn.
I was going to say, speaking of bands that you brought out on tour and bands that got in the way of themselves, the first time I saw Kiss was on that reunion tour, the very first one, and Alice in Chains was opening up for you guys. Do you have any stories that you could share with us about your time with
Yes.
Alice in Chains on the road?
Originally at Tiger Stadium was the first show of the reunion, which sold out in, 40 minutes, something like that. We were going to add shows, but we couldn't because we had another gig the next day. The original band was going to be Stone Temple Pilots opening the show. And I liked the band, despite the fact that they had ba-down, 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 which is War Machine.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, yeah.
But that's okay. I wrote War Machine with I had the riff and a new guy who had a song, Let Me Take You Dancing. I think that was it. Was Brian Adams, a new untested guy, but he could write.
That's right.
He knew how to write melody and lyric. And so I gave, here's the track, here's the riff. Try to write something on top of that. And War Machine was actually his title based on what he thought I looked like. So anyway, Stone Temple Pilots were going to open, and we're going to the birthday party of Shannon's, my wife, her sister, Tracy, at a club. And Weiland had already had a big drug problem, and it was all over the news. He didn't show up, and heroin and all that. And right before I go in, Weiland happened to be going in at the same time. Oh, Gene, man, I can't wait. Man, as soon as you hear a lot of mans in a conversation, you know it's all bullshit. So, Weiland, this is your chance. You get up there, and there's going to be a lot of attention. First time we're getting back on stage with the original Knuckleheads, and so it's your chance to blow us off the stage. Go out there, and just give them your best. And how are you doing? How's your health, Gene? I've been straight a billion years. You know what every addict says.
Yeah,
I haven't touched. They all say the same thing. I go, listen. If you're high and you're not doing it, you're going to be thrown off the show, Gene. Would I be lying to you? And shortly thereafter, he died.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to Alice in Chains. Love that band. Great. Just great vocals and the guitar playing. Everything's great. And on the way we did sound check, and coming off the stage, God, I forgot lead singer's name.
Layne Staley.
Yeah, Layne. Layne, go up there and knock him dead and everything, and you're straight. Okay, oh, Gene, I've been straight for a million years. And then, of course, later he died.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what happens when you die. Nobody cares.
Mm.
You're in the game because when you die, sadly, the only thing people talk about is the past.
Mm-hmm.
How glorious is it to see Jagger and McCartney out there touring and doing it and living life and
Absolutely.
really enjoying themselves being alive.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
I while we have you, and if your phone is dying, I genuinely have always wanted to ask you for advice about stuff. First off,
I'm okay, but fair warning, I'm straight, so I don't know about the other stuff.
I'm going to be putting out I'm putting out 2 comedy specials this year.
Gay humor.
And yes, the first one, coincidentally, is a compilation of the material that I've done on the Kiss cruises. Would it be advisable to sell just one copy of my comedy special for $2 million?
It's been done. I don't know how much of a comedy it is, but that idea has been done. By the way, a crazier idea is putting fresh, very good material on the internet and pay whatever you want for it. It was tried once by Radiohead, and it was never done again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put here's our new album on the, pay what you want for it. It's like a supermarket. Come in, get anything you want. Just leave whatever you want on there. If you don't want to leave anything, just walk out with the goods. See how long the supermarket stays in business.
I feel like you're going to have a good answer for this. Whenever I do comedy shows, any comedian, after their shows, they go to the back of the comedy club and they sell their merch.
I thought you were going to say throw up.
And they throw up. Well, the audience throws up. And then they come back to get the merch. It always seems to be the first person in line at the merch table that will say,
Jewish.
Okay, I've got a story for you. How do I cut that person off? How do you get out of somebody saying, I got a story, and they're going to hold you for at least 5 to 10 minutes? How do you get out of that, Gene?
I'm so sorry. I think I'm going to throw up. I'll be right back.
Have you used that?
Oh, sure.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be right back. Okay, stay right here.
Mm-hmm.
Same
thing for somebody who's clearly intoxicated. Do you do the same thing? Because everybody.
You just walk. You walk by, because there's nothing that they're going to say that's going to make any sense. There's a sad. Well, now it's sad. There's an old Bill Cosby routine. He used to put out comedy records, and he was like the first guy that became a big seller of comedy. You'd put it on. I'd laugh all the time. And one of the bits was, you ever notice when you ride a subway in New York late at night and 2 drunks are talking to each other? They're the only ones that can understand what they're saying. Shravis, I have the Sovasak, Riva say. So, although, these made up words, and I love that stuff so much that I gave my only begotten son. No, that's another story. So when you're driving down in the old days, when we were going from city to city on the first tour in a station wagon, I'd roll down the window on the highway and I go, "Hey, buddy, roll the window down, because in those days you had to do it by hand.
Yeah.
You know, you couldn't press a button.
Right.
And this is the time when people, 2 sticks together, fire and all that.
Yeah.
And the window goes down. Yeah, what do you got? You dropped your Schravis. The guy would pull over, of course, and get out of his car and look for what?
Mhm.
What?
Likewise, I'd go, hey, your skyhook fell off. I would get out and look around. You know, just make up words and torture people. It's fun.
Speaking of stand-up comedians, the first time I met you 30 years ago at KISW in Seattle, it was about 30 years ago, I said, Gene, my name is Craig Gass. I'm a stand-up comedian. And Gene said to me, who are your favorite comedians? And are you familiar with Andy Kaufman?
Oh, yes.
And I said, well, I'm from Taxi. And Gene said, did you ever see a stand-up? And you told me at the time that Andy Kaufman was a huge Kiss fan and would come out to shows.
You want to hear the story?
Please.
He took me in the bathroom and fucked me up my... No, sorry. That's another story. So I had heard noise about Andy. So I think Paul came with me. I don't, maybe not. But one of the Queen guys came with me.
Whoa.
I don't remember who. And 1 or 2 other, kind of rocker guys and so. And we're sitting there, and there couldn't have been more than, I don't know, 100 people in the whole place. And Kaufman comes out and slays. Here I come to save the day, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And people are, can't believe it. And then he gets into a fight. Zamuda, his manager, make believe was a guy who was, torturing him. So they get him up and they're rolling around on the floor and into the audience. Just insane stuff. I can't wait to meet this guy. We go backstage, the manager that played Gene, don't you stick with me because you're a big deal. And we go backstage and it's packed and people are smoking. So, it looks like a war scene. And you're literally, if you turn around, you're touching somebody's face. Everybody's face to face. So I go up to Kaufman this close, where you can smell if you're chewing on chiclets or not. Gum. Not girls. And I'm going, Andy is so amazing and stuff like that. Stuff. And I'm telling him, going, And then I say, well, I can't wait to see you again. And then I feel, my hand's on the side. And then I feel what I think is another arm going there. So my hand goes, down what I think is the arm and winds up where I think his hand is, like this. But it's rounded. So I take a look down, and it's a pink cock.
Big dildo.
Massive. Yeah. He made me go down the shaft. And go right to the tip. He's on the side just holding it up.
That was the story you told me 30 years ago. You also said that you've seen Andy open for himself as a different character, offending the crowd.
Yeah, it's true. He came out as a mustachioed kind of Italian guy. Oh, what was his name? Tony
Clifton.
Yeah, Tony Clifton.
Tony Clifton, yeah.
Just irritating.
And by the way, everybody bought it, and it was crazy. And one true story is Kaufman comes out, and it's a packed house, in the club and everything. And he planned this ahead of time. He said, hey, you want to go to my house and have birthday cake? And they're going, yeah. So he starts going, come on, let's go to that. And he starts singing something, and they all follow him
out of the club
outside. And there's a bus waiting, and he took them all to his house, and they had birthday cake.
Oh, that is amazing. I didn't know anything about Andy Kaufman until Gene told me those stories, and I started looking. And then, of course, the movie comes out that gets into all of that.
Jim Carrey blew. I knew Andy for quite a while, and I want to tell you, you forget you're watching Jim Carrey. You think it's Andy. I mean, the mannerisms and the physicality. In fact, there's a documentary of Jim Carrey backstage and all that, and he was always in the movie. He was Andy.
Yeah.
What an amazing performance.
Crazy doing that method acting, being that dedicated to that role that you never come out of it while you're doing that movie.
It's easy to say method, Strasberg and all that stuff. But, there are different methods and all that. because I've never heard Jim Carrey talk about method acting, but there's no denying when you see that that Andy Kaufman movie, you could swear it's Andy Kaufman.
Another question that I think you would give great advice on is I deal with a lot of comedy club owners, not dissimilar.
Don't swallow.
Not dissimilar from rock club owners. Well, what is the first indicator that a promoter is not above board to you? And how do you protect yourself to make sure you get the money that's been agreed upon?
Well, if the money's in his pocket and not in yours, that's not good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The old Chuck Berry pattern, he would not play unless he had a paper bag filled with cash waiting for him. Then he'd get up on stage.
With the money.
Yeah.
Chuck was famous for having the money on the stage in a suitcase.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of having a big bag of cash, I have to personally thank you because you have put so much money into my pocket through bass packages. You were the first person I ever knew that was offering bass packages. And Scott Uchida from Dunlop, when I first joined Death Punch, I was trying to figure out how to make more money. And Scott was like, you should sell bass. What's that?
Are you Jewish?
I am not. No, sir. Yeah.
Do you worship a Jewish God?
I'm a universe guy.
So you do.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Yeah. He got me there. Yes, sir. Yeah. But I want to thank you for those bass packages because Scott suggested that I sell bass packages. Why wouldn't you? At that point, I was brand new in the band and like I didn't know that people cared about me that much. And Scott was like, I think people like you more than you think they do. So I had one extra Spectre bass out on the road with me. I put that online and it sold within like 3 minutes. And I've been selling basses ever since. So I'm great at hustling, making money, generating income, revenue streams and all that. But I am terrible at holding on to that cash. Do you have recommendations that could help me save that bass money and make it work for me rather than blowing it as I like to do?
Question.
Invest in the S&P 500 and don't take the money out. That's all you need to do.
Simple. I like it.
I'll make a deal with you right now. By the way, I'm the only guy in the world who had Spectre #1. We were recording, I think, Destroyer or something. Hey, Gene, there's a guy downstairs who wants to give you a bass guitar. I'm going, I don't know. Yeah, okay, let him in. And Stu Spector came up and said, I love you and thing, and that's why I want to do basses. And he gave me the very first one, which I played on tour and everything. What was I going to go on my tirade before I get too tirade?
We were talking about the S&P
500 and investing money, and you said I'll give you a little bit of advice.
Oh, okay. I'll make a deal with you right now.
A deal.
Because I'm kind of a big deal and I have a lot of money. So I'm stating fact.
That's true.
It is true.
It is.
We are not going to argue with that one bit.
It came out of my account right into yours.
Yeah.
So I will give you $5 million cash, tax-free. Put it in an escrow account. If you agree to the following, a month, 31 days, you give me 1 penny the first day, and on the second day, you give me 2 cents. And on the third day, you give me 4 cents. That's 3 days. On the next day, you give me 8 cents. In 5 days, you give me 16 cents. The next day, you double that to 32 cents. Mm-hmm. And then 64 cents. So already a week has gone by. And all you have to do is give me 64 cents. At that rate, just keep doubling for 31 days. I'll give you a second to consider.
I will say no because I've heard this, but I don't know the amount that it doubles up to until the 31 days. Oh,
about 31 million. I'm sorry, about 13 million. Because it's compounded. That means when you don't have to pay taxes, it really builds fast. And by the way, when you spend money, it's after tax money. So it really disappears fast. Mm-hmm. So I've written books, business books. One is called Me Inc., Me Incorporated. I highly recommend you don't live, while you're amassing your fortune and building a career. When you want to toss all your money away, get married right away. And because the chances are you will get divorced right away. And somebody other than the mother who gave you birth is going to take half pre-tax of everything you've got, plus alimony, plus the house and the jewelry and all that stuff. And by the way, if your mother, who gave you life itself, tried to sue you for 1% of everything, the court would throw her out. But this chick you happen to live with for 2 or 3 or 4 years would be legally entitled to half of everything you've got.
It reminds me of Artie Lang had a joke about Lawrence Taylor, his wife, trying to get half of his salary from the Giants in a divorce. And he said, you know, if you can tackle people like Lawrence Taylor, then you get that money. I want to see you tackle somebody like Lawrence Taylor.
Somebody recently just had a great story where they were getting paid. It was an athlete, but I can't remember who it was, but they were married. They were getting all this money. And then the wife divorced him, tried to take half his money, but he had zero stuff in his name. It was all in his mom's name.
Oh,
I was like, that is genius.
Often, sometimes, depending on the states, that can work. It depends. But she can always, what she can do that you can't do is cry on the stands in front of the jury. And then you're fucked.
Yeah, because if we cry on the stand, she's getting everything.
When you really are bewitched, the way I became bewitched by Shannon, I didn't get married until I was 62. I'll never get divorced. I married her twice, and I'll continue to marry her until we drop dead. But my serious advice to anybody, the heterosexual males of the species, is never consider marriage unless you can afford divorce, because the statistics are overwhelmingly against you. You will be, and by the way, besides giving her half, the government wants half too. That won't leave you enough to wipe your ass with toilet paper. You'll have to use your hand. I mean, that's my favorite, but you'll have to do that. So seriously, I recommend in my book, Me Inc., Me Incorporated, be an army of one. You've got to treat yourself as a business. What's my budget? I make $1,000 a day or a week. Okay, then I got expenses and taxes and everything. So there's a limit to how much. So live below your means. And I do. You know, I live very well and everything, but I have one truck. Okay, I got a Rolls too, but not a fleet of jets. I don't do that. Rent, don't buy. Once you buy, it starts to devalue. Very few things, maintain their value. As soon as you buy something, it starts to go down. Then you got to pay upkeep with after-tax dollars and so on and so on. So you don't have to buy anything. Just rent. You're hungry, go to a restaurant, eat. Don't become a farmer.
Yeah.
It's sad, but you will lose your ass.
The thousands of women that you've been with, what is it about Shannon that made you go, that's my person?
She put up with all my bullshit. The first 29 years that we were together, we lived together. She gave me 2 amazing kids.
Great kids.
Nick and Sophie. And Sophie's closing in on 2 billion downloads of her songs. 2 billion with a B.
Yep.
And Nick and Evan Stanley are in the studio recording their first record.
Great sounding group.
Oh, you're very kind. And they didn't, nobody asks for my opinion. And that's what you want. You want your kids to be their own entities and not, Dad, I love you. Can I have $20? No, you don't want that. And she did all that. And for the first 29 years, she, the photographers would click me and stuff. It was no secret. She knew what was going on. And she's still stuck by my sorry ass. And we were in Belize shooting, believe it or not. Oh, boy. Oh, my God. We were shooting our show, Gene Simmons Family Jewels and all that. And we were on a pier talking about stuff. And Shannon didn't shame me on media or anything else. It was not, you're a jackass. What am I doing with you? Or nothing like that. And I remember just dropping to my knees and almost like possessed or something, saying words I never said in my life. I can't live without you, because I've always made fun of that thing. Yes, you can. You can live without her. You can live alone. You can have other chicks and stuff. But I meant the words. We have to be together, and I can't, because at 62, guys tend to grow up a little bit. Up until then, we're just horny 14-year-old kids. We don't take life seriously. And I didn't want to die alone. Because at 62, you don't know if you're going to live to 63 or 80 or 90 or, whatever that is. But you're certain.
And much like most celebrity romances, that one ends early.
Man, there were some questions I still wanted to get into about Nick, his son, who's a great kid.
Yeah. I think Gene just pulled I got to go throw up. That's what that was.
Well, again, let me just say before we continue talking with just me and Chris here, the info is it's going to be legendsofrockexpo.com right here, legendsofrockexpo.com with Gene, members of the Kinks, the Police. It is
Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath fame.
Geezer Butler, September 25th to the 27th.
I'm going to put it out in the universe. I would very much like to interview Geezer Butler here on this podcast. So Geezer, if you're out there, come on in. I would love to speak to you about all your experiences over the years, over the GZR solo project with Burton Bell. I love that first record. Would love to have you in here and do a little promo for the Gene Simmons. What's the title of it again? The Legends of Rock Expo?
Legendsofrockexpo.com.
Yep.
Isn't Geezer a Vegas resident?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. His Gene's son. It's funny because he was talking about I get older, and I just thought I don't want to be alone. Whatever. His son Nick comes to the Comedy Store like on a regular basis in LA, and I remember him telling me years ago that he said, my dad started to get a sense of humor about himself right before you showed up. You started doing that impression of my dad, and he just started laughing at himself, like right when you he goes, I'm not joking. If you would have done that impression like even a few years earlier, my dad would have looked you up, tracked you down, beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
he's very New York.
Yeah, he had no sense of humor back then, but he started to get a good sense of humor later in life, and then from what I keep hearing from friends of his is that he just continues to get calmer, nicer, and more friendly. God damn it.
Like you said, at 61, you start to grow up.
There are some questions I want to ask, and I'm going to have to save it for because I don't want anyone to see these questions and be like, well, I'm going to ask Gene. But I know some things about Gene that are not public knowledge that I really wanted to get into. But
and you're usually pretty tight-lipped about that stuff. Alex, clip it. Clip it, Alex.
But yeah, talking about his son one time, I don't know if I told you this, his son, Nick, handsome guy. He's like 6'5".
Yeah.
Handsome dude.
Yeah.
He'll just like his dad.
Weighs as much as this Monster Energy dude too.
And he'll show up, beautiful girl on his arm, just like his dad. And I remember one time he showed up and he had this girl with her. She had to have been maybe 21, 22 years old. Really gorgeous woman.
Little old.
And Nick goes
18, 19.
Yeah. Nick goes, oh my God, this is Craig. Okay, so Craig does an impression of my dad. And Craig, do Christopher Walken for this girl. And I go, hold on. Do you know who Christopher Walken is? And she goes, no.
Yep.
And Nick is insistent. He's like, oh no, you'll understand. When you hear it, you'll know who it is. Just do it, Craig. Just do it.
Yeah.
And I look at this girl and I go, listen, I don't know if you know who this is, but I got a weird voice. And every once in a while, I say the word cowbell. Pow! And this girl stared at me and just went, good for you.
Yep.
And I went, oh my, Nick, you fucking asshole.
Yep. And Nick, that only gets worse as you get older and you keep dating the same age. I used to have a hard stance that anybody I dated had to have been born after the Metallica Black album came out. But then after a few of those, you better know every damn word from the Black album. You better know every riff because that wasn't working for me anymore.
There are a couple things I do want to point out besides legendsofrockexpo.com at Westgate here in Vegas from September 25th to the 27th. Gene is also producing a movie that looks like a giant summer blockbuster called Deep Water. Deep Water is, he's a producer. He's got a producer credit on that. His Gene Simmons Band is going on tour. And we know a lot of the guys in that band.
Mhm.
And Paul and Gene, and I have to believe this means a lot. They're getting inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame.
Beautiful.
So
hell of a catalog.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would not be doing what I'm doing today were it not for Kiss. And there's so many other musicians that could say that as well.
Yeah, I was like nervous, and I'm just so happy he was talkative.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, what if he's in a bad mood, or but everyone I'm talking to is like, dude, he's in a great mood lately. Like the last few years, he's
retired. He's not out on the road all the time.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, and I've heard
I'm most angry when I'm on the road.
Yeah, I've heard him say,
and I'm angry all the time.
He really is.
Imagine more than this.
Yeah, there was a moment a couple days ago when Kentucky was in the March Madness, and I said, "Oh shit, you're like," we were texting each other, and then I look at ESPN.com and I'm like, "Oh shit, I shouldn't be texting. Your team's playing," and you go, "About to turn it off, Craig," and then
I remember saying, "It's taking my mind off of us being 10 down right now."
Yeah, and that game,
we gave that damn game away. We were crushing in the first half.
Yep.
Bring back Rick Pitino. That's right. All the people at home, Kentucky. Bring back Rick Pitino. I loved hearing from Gene about his relationship with his wife.
Yes.
Much like Dee Snider the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Was talking about his longtime love of his life, his wife, Suzette.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things. It's another reminder to pick your partner wisely.
Yeah, with Dee, I know him and Howard had a great friendship because they had this thing in common, which was these are the women that cared about us when no woman would talk to us.
Oh, yeah.
And because of that, I'm sticking with them despite all the fame and other women trying to throw themselves at me. I'm not going to do it. This is the woman that picked me. I'm staying with her. And then Howard ended up getting divorced and getting a younger wife. So
what this reminds me of? When you were talking about, did you talk about you talked about it with Steve-O the other day. You asking the universe for a sign.
Oh, yeah.
Getting smacked over the head
with
that sign and being like, I mean, what do you think that means?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I'm you hearing all these people talk about these women who have been around with them forever.
Yeah.
And sticking by them. And I'm like, man, that's crazy. I wish I knew somebody like that.
Yeah. For some reason, guys are fucking stupid.
Yes.
We're just fucking stupid, especially with a little bit of success.
Mm-hmm.
And you can actually have a conversation starter because you do what you do.
Yeah.
That women do want to talk to you. Guys are stupid.
I saw
really,
Jay
really
Moore
stupid.
talking on his podcast, I think today actually, about why is it that marriage causes so many breakups and divorces? People are so good before they get married.
I heard that.
Yeah. And then
what is it about the moment, the legal binding is what puts pressure on people?
That's crazy. And I put a comment in there. I was like, yeah, man, it took divorce to make me and my ex-wife become best friends again and actually like each other again. So I get it, Jay. I know what you're talking about.
That was a wonderful conversation. I did want to get into the avatars because he said something, I don't know if it was Gene or Paul that said this, but this is a ballsy statement that the Kiss avatars are going to make the sphere look like a popcorn fart, which is like, oof, that is a big, big promise. So I wanted to ask him about that. Wanted to talk to him about who he thinks his favorite Beatles, who's the best Beatle. He's got lots of jokes. I also wanted to tell him how grateful I was that his head of security on the farewell tour was, or end of the road tour. The farewell tour was like 20 years ago with Ace and Peter. Then the end of the road tour, this guy Ryan, who was the head of security for Kiss, I did a couple of shows in the cities where Kiss was performing at and doing just a Kiss themed comedy show. And a couple of guys from his road crew for Kiss came out to the show, including his head of security, Ryan. And Ryan afterwards, the next day, I go to the Kiss concert, and Ryan's wearing one of my T-shirts. It's a Starbucks one that says Craig.
I was hoping it was the Destroyer shirt.
No, well, he says that he flags in the limos, and the limos pull in. Gene gets out, and he's escorting Gene to his dressing room. And Gene looks and sees Craig Gass Sucks, the Starbucks, and he goes, "Where did you get that?" And he goes, "Oh, last night, Craig Gass did a show here in Austin, and so a bunch of us in the road crew went, so I got one of these shirts." And Gene said, "Did he talk about me?" And he goes, "A lot." And Gene goes, good.
Yeah.
And he walked away, and I was like, God,
nice.
There's been
he knows.
There's been moments over the years where I've been contacted by an assistant to Gene who said, Gene is in the same town as you, and he would like to come to your show. And I'm like, oh yeah, whatever you need. Okay. Also, he'd like to request 6 tickets, and I'd go, whatever he needs, I'll take care of whatever he needs.
Absolutely.
He'd also like to request that he be in the front row, and I go,
my God.
Okay. And one more, he wants to request that you talk about him while you're on stage, and I'll get into like Kiss material and start talking about Gene, and Gene will just look around at the crowd and go, he's talking about me. Isn't that something? And I'd be like, wow, man, I love that about him.
Yeah.
I love how much he laughs.
I love how much you do the Gene Simmons impression.
Yeah.
But then when you were talking as Gene,
he kept cutting me off.
No, you wouldn't do the voice at first. I was like, no.
Yeah, I know.
You do the voice.
I know. Well, he I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I'm nervous about, is he going to slap me around, which he did. He slapped me around a lot and kept just like piping in with like, you're getting railed in the butt and like, what's your boyfriend's name and all that. And I expected that, but he wouldn't give me a moment to breathe if I left any kind of pregnant pause in that conversation. But
he loves the pregnant pause.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really does. But I got to ask him about the Alex Van Halen thing. I was wondering if he would remember that. I remember Alex told me that story a few times. He was like, I would always ask him, like, how do you shit in that? How do you shit in those boots? Because he had these boots, came all the way up to here. And I'm like, how do you shit with those boots? He didn't remember that story.
How crazy is it that Stone Temple Pilots got kicked off the tour because the lead singer doing heroin.
And they bring in Layne Staley.
And then they bring in Layne Staley. I don't know if I've told this on the podcast or not, but when I saw that show, I think it was one of the last 4 shows that Alice in Chains did with Layne Staley.
Yeah.
But the band starts, a handler walks Layne Staley out to the stage, like arm in arm.
Oh no.
Like shuffling. I mean, looking like Ozzy Osbourne, later in life, like that same type of shuffle, and puts Layne up on the mic. Holds the mic just like this. Didn't say a word in between songs.
Just went right through.
Moved his head. That was about the only movement, was a very Stevie Wonder head movement. Clearly out of his mind on, it's well known that he was a heroin guy. Clearly out of his mind on heroin, but sounded absolutely incredible. Nailed every note, sounded amazing, crushed that whole show. And then that same handler came out and then walked him right backstage.
That's depressing.
Yeah, and then I think that was one of the last 4 shows that Alice in Chains did.
I don't know if I should be saying this out loud. Maybe
Which means you're definitely going to say it.
We'll put this on the Patreon.
Yes!
But
make sure you subscribe at patreon.com.
Yeah, this story is going to go right to the Patreon because I don't know if I should be saying this. But man, that was a great time. Go see Gene Simmons. He is going to be here in Vegas at the Westgate Hotel. That's where Elvis did his residency when it was the Hilton back in the day. Westgate, September 25th to the 27th. It is the Legends of Rock Expo. legendsofrockexpo.com. Go see the movie Deep Water this summer. Go see the Gene Simmons Band on tour. And congratulations to Paul and Gene for making it into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. And we will see you on the next episode with me and Chris. Go see us on the road. We're going to be on tour. We're doing some shows, getgas.com, getgas with 2 S's.com. And also Chris is on tour with Five Finger Death Punch this year, and you can get those bass packages, just like Gene Simmons taught him how to.
That's right. Help me get my own Gene Simmons bass. And thank you guys for subscribing to the Patreon page, because that takes some of the financial pressure off of us.
Oh, yeah.
From selling all these basses to put it in here, keeping Alex's lights on, which we appreciate, Alex.
Oh, there's...
So thank you guys so much for believing in us and contributing to us being able to do this for you each and every week. We appreciate you.
And we got a lot of cool stuff over on the Patreon, which is uncensored, no commercials, videos that we'll make for you. We'll do video greetings for you from our studio.
And you and I just talked about it yesterday.
Yep.
Craig and I started this podcast how many years ago? Like, not this incarnation of it, but
3 years ago, we did like 2 episodes, and then we stopped.
Yep. And those will be coming to the Patreon page shortly. So you can see where it started
and
how fast I am speaking, because I'm like, oh my God, we're doing a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Look at us. I feel like Brett Michaels. Hey, buddy, what are we doing? We're doing this over here. Hey. So, yeah.
Not only that, our live shows that we've done in Australia, Anchorage, Alaska, and in, what was the other one? Green Bay.
Green Bay,
Wisconsin. You can see the live shows. That's the only place to get the live shows is on the Patreon. And there's a lot of perks on there. So go check out the Patreon page for Beardo and Weirdo. And then we'll be on the road, chriskael.com, getgas.com with 2 S's. And we'll see you soon.